earth is the I ams and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he has founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hills of the I am? Who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive the blessing from the I am, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. Selah. Lift up your head, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The I am strong and mighty, the I am mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The I am of hosts. He is the King of glory. Selah. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forever. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20, a prayer of Abraham. And we just read from Psalms chapter 24, the entire chapter. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, those of you on this YouTube channel, and we thank God for you. You're walking with Mr. Clay. We're walking through biblical texts, chapter by chapter. Yes. And, topic by topic as we go through the chapters and sort of comparing them with the day and seeing and really just knowing and understanding God. That is the mission here. For those of you that would care to even know to understand God. Most of us, we get bored just by somebody talking about their bibliography. But either way, this is God. It's talking about God and the ones that he have chosen to be the apple of his eye, but turn out to be rotten. But the fact is that he has a way of renewing that which is old and causing that to be strengthened that is weak. And we're just thanking God for all that he's done. Yes. And we want to thank and praise God even for you. We thank God for the his most holy presence. We thank the most holy. Yes, we thank the most holy because he has caused us to reign above our enemies. Yes, it's not so much reigning above the enemies, but he has caused us to reign that the enemy cannot affect us as he once would have. Yes, and we thank God that even he penetrates even that beyond death. Even the things that we might suffer in this life, he knows how to make it sweet, just as he did with Abram when he was put in the fiery furnace, as well as the 3 Hebrews that were put in the fiery furnace under Nebuchadnezzar. Some say Nebuchadnezzar, some say Nebuchadnezzar. Yes, we thank you, most holy Sanini Nanini, even Tata and Zambi. The Huya, Yahuwah, Yahweh. We thank you for all the things you have done. We thank you for your mercy, above all mercy. Because your favor we do not deserve in many instances of our lives. But we thank you. Either way, you make us worthy. You make us to ride in high places. And we thank you for these things. Yes, we do. Yes, we're in the book of 1 Samuel still. The book of 1 Samuel. Yes, and also we want to thank God for those of you that have been with us since the beginning. And we thank the Most High for those of you that have been with us, just tarried along with us here and there's about. And we thank God for those of you that have just subscribed. And we thank the Most High for those of you that are about to subscribe, calling those things that are not as though they are. Yes, you're walking with Mr. Clay. I'm Mr. Clay. Yes, we're in the book of Samuel. These are the books that most people don't like reading, to tell you the truth. They don't like reading it because it's not exciting, but there's a lot of truth in these books. There's a lot of reflection on the Most High and things that we should understand and know, not only about others, but about ourselves, and be aware that things can happen in our lives that we can let slip. We can let slip out of the way. Now, verse 24, chapter 1 Samuel chapter 23. Yeah, chapter 23. 1 Samuel chapter 23. We just got through with chapter 22. And David, he was really going through a lot with Saul and his jealousy. Verse 23 and verse 1, and they told David, saying, behold, the Philistines fight against Keilah, and they rob the threshing floors. And therefore David inquired of the I am, said, shall I go and smite these Philistines? Now he learned of his elders that you don't go before God. God don't go beside you, but you go toward God, wherever he's directing you and showing you. Because when you step before God, you have a tendency, just like Saul, to second guess God. But to follow instructions as God would put it before you as walking toward God. And the I am said to David, go, smite the Philistines and save Keilah. And David's men said unto him, behold, we be afraid here in Judah. How much more if we come to Keilah against the armies of the Philistines? And David inquired of the I am yet again, and the I am answered him, said, arise and go to Keilah, for I will deliver the Philistines into thy hands. Now, when your life is at stake and you're fighting something greater than yourself, it can be a heart-pounding thing. Yes, it can. But David already knew in his seeing what the I am did with the lion and the bear. And now he has dealt with Goliath. I mean, just out of his own zealous feelings for the Most High, his love for him, his zeal for him. Yeah, zeal. For him and his people. See, democracy is not about your corporations. Democracy, as you put it, is not about your rich. It's not about the middle class. It's about generally the people. Because one thing about it, when democracy is in good order, the people will prosper. Not everybody's going to be rich, but the rich will not lose anything, and the poor will not lack. Yes, it'll all be the same flow. Yes, it will. No one will be capitalizing on each other. This is not good. But God doesn't make it that way. And those who oppose themselves, he has prescribed different remedies for their mishandling of their funds, or the mishandling of their, possessions, or things like crops, eating up your crops and partying and all these other things, to where you get to yourself in the poorhouse, is what I'm saying. Now, and so it came to pass, when Abiathar the son of Amalek fled to David, to Keilah. Now, Abiathar was a Levite priest. Yes, he was a Levite, period. And he came down with an ephod in his hand. Now, an ephod, you'll see that I can't really show you a picture because I want to show the correct people in the ephod. If you look on yesterday's, an ephod really is what you would see the Catholic Church wearing. Ephod with they mixed the ephod with the, Egyptian headdress. The little headdress with and then they got the ephod. Ephod just fits over you. I mean, it's just like an apron in a way, but it just starts from right here and it goes all the way down and ties to the side. That's an ephod. You see the little Roman Catholic kids wearing this stuff all over the place. This has been copied. This has all been copied from and made up to suit their needs. I mean, there's no way that these Romans can be priests of the Most High. They're not even Levite, yet alone. They wasn't even close to the hue that the Levites are, or were. Even are, yes. And it was told Saul that David was come to Keilah. And Saul said, God hath delivered him in my hands, for he is shut in. This is his obsession, his delusional mindset, to thinking that God is still with him when God has forsaken him, and he knows this. By entering into a town that hath gates and bars. Have you ever been with a person who's been spurned? Not just women, but just a person who's been spurned, and how they seek vengeance on the one that they delusionally think spurned them when they caused the whole situation themselves. This is the dilemma of Saul. Yes. And God had delivered him into my hand, for he is shut in by entering into a town that has gates and bars. In other words, he's locked in. He can't come out. If we get to the gates before he comes out, oh, we can get through there. And Saul called all the people together to war to go down to Keilah and besiege David and his men. And David knew that Saul secretly practiced mischief against him. And he said to Abiathar the priest, and bring hither the ephod. And then said David, O I am God of Israel, thy servant has certainly heard that Saul seeketh to come to Keilah to destroy the city for my sake. I mean, this Saul, obsessed. I mean, if you could see blood in his eyes, you would see him for David. Will men of Keilah deliver me up into his hands? Will Saul come down as thy servant hath heard? O I am God of Israel, I beseech thee, I beg thee, tell thy servant. And the I am said, he will come down. In other words, God just, he grabbed these priests, the ephod was holy. Ephod was something that only the Levite priest could put on. Now, he put the ephod, David did not put the ephod, but he held it. This is what he did. You know, he touched it just to get a hold of the Most High. Tell me. I don't want people to die for my sake. Now, some leaders, they don't care. Some of you can identify those leaders. They whether for you, their armies, to die, to go into battle for the greed of their friends and those that have given them money, their lobbyers. Your sons go to war for them. I can understand if it's for the protection of your country. For you're fighting for the sovereignty of your country and the law and order of your country. But the fact is that for the greed of a corporation, for the greed of the rich, for the greed of your political ideologies, this is not God. God, the only reason he sent Israel to take over the land of Canaan was because Canaan had no right to that land, even his descendants. The same thing with those in Africa, those in the United States. You have no right to this land. You took the right to this land. But yet God dealt with it. He dealt with it, and he's going to deal with it even further. You took the Argentina, the Spaniards. Yes, you took the rights to that land. Even the laws is not even valid in the land because they're not the law of that land. The law of the people of that land. They're the law of those who have stolen the land. See, God got a plan for you. Just like Rome was destroyed, you destroyed your land from within. As far as those who believe God and lay on his promises, death is nothing. We'll perish right here with you. We're not going to fight for you, but we'll perish. We're going to perish anyway. We're all going to die because it's what? A matter of when and how. Period. It's not going to be pleasant. Death is never pleasant to anyone. The process of death is never pleasant in any situation, under any circumstances. No. But hey, if it's God's will be done. Yes. And then said David, will the men of Keilah deliver me and my men into the hand of Saul? And the I am said, they will deliver thee up. And then David and his men, which were about 600, rose and departed out of Keilah, and went with wherever they would go. And it was told Saul that David was escaped from Keilah, and he forbore to go forth. In other words, David says, I don't want these people dying because of me. This man's obsession, his personal vendetta against me, which he doesn't fight against David. He's fighting against the Most High. He's jealous. He's mad. He's spurned of the Most High. And he puts it on David. Have you seen somebody like that? Something bad happens to them and they just put it all on you or something like that. This is of the enemy. This is a jealous spirit. This is a spirit that is not good. No, it's not. Then David and his men, which were about 600, rose and departed. And they would go, and it was told Saul that David was escaped from Keilah, and he forbade to go forth. He didn't go into the land to wrestle with the people for David, devising some. And verse 14, and David abode in the wilderness in the strongholds and remained in a mountain in the wilderness of Ziph. And Saul saw them every day. So obsessed. But God delivered him not into his hand. And David saw that Saul was come out to seek his life, and David was in the wilderness of Ziph in a wood. And Jonathan, Saul's son, arose and went to David in the wood and strengthened his hand in God. Jonathan knew where he was, or Jonathan somehow found where David was, and he strengthened him because he knew his father was wrong. There's some of you, I don't care whether it's your father, your mother, they're wrong, they're wrong. You still honor them, but you don't go after people you know they're wrong about to take their sin upon you. No, you don't. You honor your father and your mother. Yes, you do. But their sin, yeah. I'm not going along with you. I love you. What you need from the stuff? Do you need something to eat? Do you need me to do something for you? That's good. But I'm not going to go out and do your bidding because you are engrossed or obsessed with something. No, I'm not going to do that. And God will excuse that. Obey, honor your parents. He didn't say obey your parents. He said honor your father and your mother. That's what he said. Now, to be obedient even in wickedness, you're a fool. Because your father and your mother are human. That's a woman. She was a woman before she had you, and your father was a man before he inseminated her with you. Now, and he said unto him, fear not, for the hand of Saul my father shall not find thee. And thou shalt be king over Israel, and I shall be next unto thee, that also Saul my father knoweth. In other words, Saul knew that David was his friend. And also Saul knew that his son knew that his father was wrong. He was spurned of the I am. David had nothing to do with Saul's second-guessing God and his foolishness toward the Most High. And they too made a covenant before the I am, and David abode in the wood, and Jonathan went to his house. Then came the Ziphites to Saul to Gibeah, saying, doth not David hide himself in the strongholds in the woods in the hills of Hachilah, which is on the south of Jessamon? Now, therefore, O king, come down according to all the desire of thy soul, come down, and our part shall be to deliver him into the king's hand. And Saul said, blessed be ye of the I am. Even using, you have people use God's name even for evil. For their own ways that they do. They use his name for evil to get at you. They'll use his name and twist the scriptures just to get at you. Or sit up there and manipulate you or deceive you. Like, pay your tithes. And we're not even in the land of Israel. Not even there. No. It doesn't work like that. You might hear the washing machine spinning in the background. Apologies. Now, and Saul said, blessed be ye of the I am, for ye have compassion on me. No, you are making David an object of your disdain for the Most High, whom you have been spurned because of your foolishness, just like a woman has been spurned of the foolishness that she had done toward her husband, and he dismisses her. And she wants to get back at his newly found wife or his betrothed wife. because she is put away from him. This thing can be very nasty. Yes. Go, I pray you, prepare yet, and know and see his place where his haunt is, and though he has seen him there, for it is told me that death that he dealeth very subtly. See what he's doing? He's trying to build David up to be something he's not. See therefore and take knowledge of all the lurking places where he hideth himself, and come ye again to me with certainty. And I will go with you, and and it shall come to pass, if he be in the land, I will search him out throughout all the thousands of Judah. And they rose and went to Ziph before Saul, but David and his men were in the wilderness of Maon, in the plain on the south of Jezreel. And Saul also and his men went to seek him, and they told David, wherefore he came down into a rock and abode in the wilderness of Maon. And when Saul heard that, he pursued after David. Oh, I'm going to get him now. And David in the wilderness of Maon. And Saul went on his side of the mountain, and David and his men on that side of the mountain. And David made haste to get away for fear of Saul. For Saul and his men compassed David and his men round about to take them. But there came a messenger unto Saul, saying, haste thee, come, for the Philistines have invaded the land. In other words, you got something else you got to do, king. You got to go protect us. You got to save us. We ain't worried about David. David has done nothing to you. Now, he says wherefore Saul returned from pursuing after David and went against the Philistines. In other words, to win the confidence of the people. Therefore, they called that place Selah Hamah Helekoth. Yes, Lekosh. And David went up from thence and dwelt in the strongholds at Engedi. Yes, this is a story about this is history about what it is when someone is spurned, especially of the Most High. This man was spurned from being king. He was denounced, rejected from being king, and his seed succeeding him at every turn as David. So therefore, we have to be careful that we do not see, just as Israel as a whole being spurned, rejected of the Most High. We have rejected the Most High from being king. We've chosen our Jesus and our Muhammad and all these other things. We've chosen these things over even the creator of all creation. We've chosen these things, we've chosen Mary. We've chosen all kind of different men and things over the Most High, pastors and preachers, and we praise them more than we praise our God, who uses men, even more so angels, to address the affairs of men as he would direct them. And we have to be careful of how we build the temple, that we do it after he has instructed. And with that, we're going to say peace.
Walk with me.